Welcome to the Poly Champions YouTube. Today, let's look at when to get a tech. It's more complex than what you might think, and it's one of the key decisions in how to play and win Polytopia. Let's go through it. A while back, I was doing a coaching game for a new player. They wanted to get riding on their second turn. It didn't add up. My recommendation to that player, and all new players, don't get a tech unless you can use it. But there's more to it than that. Here's the order of priority when to get a tech. Number 1, when you can use it. Number 2, before you capture a village. Number 3, when it makes sense in the long run. Rule number 1, buy a tech when you can use it. Why is it a bad idea to get a tech before you can use it? Many times this backfires. In Polytopia, it's crucial to keep your options open. In this example, I get riding, but I can't use it. I have to wait a turn to get a rider, and I'm not sure what's out there. By the way, riders can't move through fog any faster than a warrior can. Here you see a opponent warrior surprises me out of the fog. Riders have weak defenses compared to warriors. If I'd gotten a warrior instead, then the riding tech later after meeting my opponent, I could have afforded the tech and the rider unit. That way, I could have gotten to that village first and been able to keep it. Here's a classic Hoodrick opening. Yes, you need hunting to upgrade your capital, but the tech costs 5 stars. If you get hunting now, you don't have the stars left to use it. Better to wait, explore, find a village, and then get hunting before capturing your first city. Once you have 9 stars total, 5 for the hunting tech, 4 for the animals to get the workshop, that's the optimal time to get the tech, when you can put it to work and use it. Here's a scenario where it's worth it to get riding on the second turn. I'd found an enemy and got 3 stars from the meeting. I had 9 stars to work with. I could afford to get the riding tech and a rider. I used the rider in combination with my 2 warriors to attack, bounce, and claim both the village and the ruin on the next turn. Totally worth it. Thinking about what techs you can use now helps you prioritize. In this Illyrian game, I was deciding between fishing and farming. Both would have helped upgrade my cities and build my economy. Farming costs 10, so only 2 stars left. Fishing costs 7. I went with fishing. With the 5 stars left, I got a workshop in the new city right away. No need to wait. Plus, I was set up to grow more cities the next turn. Rule number 2, buy a tech before you capture a village. Tech costs go up with every new city. With just your capital, first tier techs cost 5 stars. The second tier is 6 stars, and the third tier is 7. Once you get your second city, first tier tech goes up to 6 stars. The second tier is 8, and the third costs 10. Adding a third city to your empire makes those tech costs go up to 7, 10, and 13, and so on. So buy that tech before capturing a village. Sometimes you want to delay capturing a village so you can afford a tech. Often with Illyrian, you want your first tech to be forestry, but you can't afford it. So you wait a turn. You delay getting that first village until you have enough stars to buy the tech. Yes, it can be hard to wait, but sometimes it's the smart choice to get the tech you need to build your economy in later turns. Let's talk about whaling. So lucrative. It may be tempting to get the whaling tech early, but you can't harvest those whales until you expand your city borders. Here's an example where I saw 2 whales outside my capital. I expanded my borders with farming and roads. it would take me 3 more turns to get the necessary tech to grow my capital. Only after I expanded my borders and saved up the stars to buy the whaling tech did I go out and scoop up those big fat whales. It paid off in the long run. Rule number 3, when it makes sense in the long run. A good example of when to get a tech to help you in the long run is philosophy with IMO. Philosophy lowers the cost of all technologies by 33%. So the optimal time to get the philosophy tech is before you capture your first village. Also, IMO terrain often has a mix of different resource types around the villages. Many times you're forced to get more than one tech before you can upgrade a city. So getting philosophy as IMO is often worth it in the long run. Trade for Polaris is another example of when it makes sense to get a tech before you can use it because it will pay off later. Trade is a 3rd-tier tech and expensive. Ice Bank costs 20 stars. Usually you don't have enough stars to get both the tech and the building on the same turn. But the investment pays off. The Ice Bank produces 3 stars per turn for every 20 frozen tiles. On maps where you have a lot of ice, like when you're playing against a Polaris opponent, it's worth it. So plan it out. Get trade as Polaris if you know you'll have 20 stars the next turn to get the Ice Bank. Oftentimes with Yadakk, you want to get org or hunting before capturing your first city, even though you can't use it that turn. With roads, you can upgrade 2 cities the next turn, and it pays off in the long run. There may be other times you want to buy a tech even if you can't use it immediately. This involves doing the math and planning it out. In this example, the map had a lot of water. I figured that I would need sailing to win. I was about to capture 3 villages. After that, my tech costs would skyrocket. Better for me to get sailing, even if I couldn't build a port right away. If I didn't get the tech at that point, it would delay me getting a navy later. And I needed that navy to win. Let's review. The first thing to consider about when to get a tech is if you can use it. Better to keep your options open than spend stars on something you might regret. Next, try to time getting the tech before capturing a village because tech costs go up the more cities you have. Finally, do the math and plan it out. Occasionally, it makes sense in the long run to get a tech even if you can't use it immediately, like with IMO and philosophy, or other map-specific situations, like getting multiple new cities at one time. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe. It helps us a lot. For Poly Champions games with skilled players and expert commentary, click the links in the description. Join the Poly Champions Discord server. Ask questions there. Get on a team. The Discord link is also in the description. Take care. See you in the next one.